What's up, everybody? It's Connor. Happy holidays. And my gift to you today is to run through the lead generation model, the second of the two models that we were going to work through. The first one was Monday of this past week, which we went over the economic model. If you want to make this amount of money in real estate, how many appointments do you need to go on in order to get that? Well, the second half of that is to understand, now that I know how many appointments I need, how do I cultivate and bring in the business in order to actually get those appointments? Now, this is a theoretical framework, again, just like the economic model was. What we're not going to go into in this video is all of the different lead sources that you could possibly do to bring in some of the business. Some of the videos that I'm going to do for the rest of this year are going to go over a lot of the playbooks on how to bring in business a certain way. But let's start with the general framework. First, we start at the top. We have to lead generate, right? If you don't lead generate, you're not in business. Full stop, period. If you don't lead generate, you're not in business, right? So you need to be able to attract business to you. We can do it one of two ways. We can do prospecting, which is a one-to-one approach. It's a very low cost but high effort activity, like an open house or circle prospecting or door knocking. Doesn't cost you a lot of money, but it does take a lot of effort, and most of the time it's one-to-one communication. When we do marketing, though, marketing is much more of a lower effort but higher cost activity. Making a graphic and then running a Facebook ad or running a Google ad or putting a billboard up or sending it to a ShopRite if you want to still put it on the back of a shopping cart, that's marketing, right? Easy to do, but a little expensive in its application. So prospecting based and marketing enhanced is really the way we want to go about bringing that business in. All right. Once you bring them in, though, we got to store these people somewhere. Please don't put them in a shoebox with index cards like Gary used to do back in the 80s. Preferably a cloud-based digital database where you can store people but also take actions. Your phone is a database for all intents and purposes. It's just not a very smart database. While the phone itself is a smart thing, it doesn't take any action with the people inside of your contacts unless you actively engage them. What we want is a database that can automate some of the messaging that's going to go out so that you can stay focused on quality engagement, where a lot of that undertone engagement can be done automatically. So lead generation, capture everybody inside of a cloud-based database. Then we go into the cultivation of this all. Once they meet us, they got to start to know who we are. They got to start to like us. They got to start to trust us a little bit before they're willing to sit down for that appointment. So we have to do a couple things. First, when they enter your world, they're called a lead, right? This means we really haven't had a meaningful bilateral or two-way conversation about real estate with them. We may have met them and had a conversation, but we haven't really got to that motivation. And you can see right in the middle there under contacts, that second one, motivations right there. We haven't gotten quite there yet. So as of right now, they're a lead, right? With our leads, we want to be able to touch base with them 19 times throughout the course of a year to try and connect with them. And every time that we message them, we always want to have a little bit of an offer. It's called a MOFR, make offer for immediate response. Some people call it a call to action, right? What's the action? What's the offer that I want them to engage with? For buyers, would you like to receive properties similar to what you're interested in, the areas you're interested in? And for sellers, are you interested in knowing how much your home's worth, or would you be interested in my pre-listing checklist for home inspection items? Whatever it is, we can have an offer for them. So in this 19 to connect time, before we've really had that motivation and meaningful conversation, we want to offer things to get them to have a meaningful conversation, to talk about motivation, and that's where we have the one to cement. One to cement is a good, solid conversation that we have with somebody, and we really understand their motivation and their timeline. Those to me are kind of the two most important things. I probably should have even written timeline in, but for me, motivation and timeline are the two most important things that you will cover at that stage. Once I know that, they've moved from a lead to a contact. Now it's somebody that I am having that bilateral or a two-way conversation with them. And now I feel like there's somebody I know and I understand their situation. But that's not where it stops. You can't just do that and then not talk to somebody for 18 months and expect them to remember you or want to do business with you. I have to then nurture them. Brings to us to our third bucket here at the bottom of the actual database kind of flow and pipeline. We actually have to nurture them, and we have to do a couple things. One, 36 times throughout the year to convert them. So 36 touches across the year, phone calls, text messages, in person, whatever it is. And what we really want to do is be service-based. Okay, seller, I want to let you know how much your property is increasing or decreasing in value month over month. I want to let you know about any regulatory changes that are happening. Buyers, I want you to understand the current landscape of days on market. Are prices going up? Are prices going down? I just want to make sure that I'm being of service to the people that are inside of my database. Maybe even inviting them to some holiday things, maybe doing some kind of off real estate, but more colorful and engaging community activities. All of that to, again, get them to know us, like us, trust us, so that when they are ready to be converted, and remember, they don't move on your time, they move on their time. You just have to position yourself so that when they are ready to think about real estate, you're the first person that they're going to think about. And that's our conversion. That's when we actually sit down with them for that buyer consultation to sign a buyer agency agreement, or we sit down for a listing appointment to sign a listing agreement. That's the two things that we're really trying to do at the appointment. They become a client, new, repeat, referral. They buy. Once they buy, they just become a contact back in our database again, and we restart the nurture, right? So this is a basic flow of the lead gen model. We got to meet people. We got to stay in touch with people, and they have to know, like, and trust us. And this is a really formulaic way of going about doing that. Now, my one little extra caveat, find a database that'll allow you to do that 19 to connect and that 36 to convert quickly and easily, right? That to me is what makes all of this flow. Otherwise, you're going to spend a lot of time manually on the phone, manually text messaging, manually email, where there's nothing wrong with that when you have 5 clients. When you have 50, when you have 500, when you have 5,000 people in a database, there's just a scale that you won't be able to overcome to get there. So I hope this was helpful. Happy holidays to everybody. Have a great new year, and we'll talk to you soon.